Hello, thanks Paula Hechinger. We are here with a special guest. She's psychoanalyst, and here we are going to talk about VSS, which means
Vision is no syndrome. Thank you for having me.
Hi Paula, good afternoon. Thanks for coming to the Empower podcast.
Thank
to
you.
tell us a bit about your journey with the VSS.
Yes. Well, my name is Paula Hechinger, and I have VSS. Is a
Which
neurological disease
Okay.
that actually nobody knows about it. It's very rare. Actually, 2% of population of the whole world have it, right?
gosh.
So, and it is a disease that has no cure.
Okay.
And we are fighting and we're trying very hard to find cure for it.
Okay. And you have been walking through this stuff. How can you cope with
How
this?
can I cope? Well, I have been going through this for about 10 years now, right? So I got a VSS when I was pregnant in 2016. So it's been around, 9 years, almost 10 years. And at the same time that I got a VS in 2016, I went through a lot of tests, a lot of hospitals, MRIs.
In the United States?
In the United States, yes. So the people actually around the world, they don't know exactly what it is. Even doctors, right? They don't have experience with this disease, right?
Just a few research about it.
Yes. So they put me through a lot of tests, MRIs, spine tap. Spine tap usually is for MS, right? Multiple sclerosis. That's what they thought we have. Patients usually they have VSS. They go through a lot of tests, and I did as well. And then after a while, I realized that, there's no point to keep doing this. At the end of all tests, everything was negative. And then they send me to a psychiatrist. Okay, everything's in your head. You're just crazy. Okay.
Your brain.
Yeah.
Neurological.
So just go ahead and take some medication, some anxiety medication, some antidepressive, and you're going to be okay. Well, I did that. Right, and I tried that because VS is people think that is in your vision. It's not in your vision. Affects your vision, but is in your brain.
Okay,
right?
I see.
So I tried everything. It did not work. Right, it got worse. Actually, taking some medications, antidepressives, you make your vision's no syndrome worse. Right,
Okay,
so we need to be very careful with kind of medication we take. So the more anxiety you have, because it's not just the symptoms in your vision. Once you have tightness, you have anxiety, you have panic attacks, you have what we call the symptoms that I had and I still have sometimes is inner tremors. It's just like a tremor, but you feel like inside of your body.
You are shaking?
Yeah, it's like shaking, but it is like inside of your body, right? What else you have? You have a lot of pain. Some people, they have a lot of pain in the spine. You have like the statics, you have like epilepsy, you have after image. After image is pretty much, when you look at something like this and then you look away.
Multiple things.
It's just like multiple things follows, right? It's just like you're looking at the sun and then you look away, you just see the sun. But we see that 24/7. We see the statics just like a broke television 24/7. If we have our eyes opened or our eyes are closed, we see that all the time, right?
And when did you start noticing this?
I started noticing, actually, my first symptoms was the little noise in my
Just one here? Or
yes.
on both?
On both. The tighten, we call the tightness. So it started that way, like a month before the symptoms on my eyes, right? And I was like, oh, why am I'm hearing this noise in my ear, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going crazy. And then after a few months, I started, and which I was pregnant, I started having the symptoms in my eyes.
Is there any cure? No, you said
there's no cure for it. There has been a lot of research. There's like this great people, Visions No Initiative that we're working with. They're doing a lot of research. They're trying very hard. There's a lot of people working, but at this point we have no cure for it. No medication, not yet. We're hopeful. It's something that I always tell my patients. I start having more patients with the same disease that I have. Living with its no vision syndrome taught me a lot, because after having, I was very depressed. I didn't drive for like 5 years because I couldn't see right. I was so scared. I couldn't drive. I couldn't go to the supermarket. I was inside my house. So I pretty much isolate myself inside the house, right?
With kids?
Yeah, with my kids there. It was like, because I couldn't see, I couldn't function. My brain was confused. And then when your brain is confused, pretty much what happens to you with VSS, it attacks your nervous system. And once it attacks your nervous system, you have a lot of anxiety. The more anxiety you have it, the more you see the symptoms of VS in your eyes, right? The worse it gets. So after I started doing, I went to school for psychoanalysis, I started to understand more how the mind works, how the nervous system works, right? Mm-hmm. And so I started creating my own therapy for myself, not for people, but for myself.
I see.
Because I understood how this disease is not just in your brain, but it's pretty much emotional too. So if you can control your emotions, you can control your symptoms.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
And you can deal better with
Yes, and that's pretty much how I have been coping with this disease, because, it's so debilitated that people try to kill themselves. They're so depressed, for years and years and years. There's I can't live life like this. One of the symptoms that is very debilitating for people, which I have as well, I'm dizzy all the time. So we have this dizziness, like walking on the moon or something. That's how I can describe, walking on the moon. We don't have a lot of balance, So it's there all the time. So I have been this way for almost 10 years.
It starts with your pregnancy. The
second pregnancy. Okay. So when people start living like this, they say, I just can't do it. It's not going to work for me. So they can't cope with this disease, so they don't want to live anymore, and they're very depressed.
Yeah, because it affects your daily life, actually.
Yes, it does, pretty much so.
So you see every time the same points, or no, it's different.
Yeah, every time is different. It depends. For everybody, that actually have this disease is different.
It's not focused, or you can focus on things.
If you focus, you can see more. Okay. But with therapy, you learn to put on the background. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to teach my patients, right? Okay. If you regulate your nervous system, if you calm down your anxiety, right, you're not going to have panic attacks. So when you have panic attacks, why you have panic attacks? Because you focus on the diseases all the time. Mm-hmm. When you focus, you see more. When you don't focus, it stays on the background. It's there, you see, but you don't see that much anymore.
Yeah, is the same for other symptoms or other problems?
Yes.
When you focus in something, the problem grows.
Exactly. And that's what I learned, I taught myself how to cope with the disease. And then, because it was very hard, because we're reading, it's very hard to read, because, for example, these letters here, they shake all the time. Okay. They just don't stay still. If you look on the floor, if the floor has patterns, they shake while we're looking at.
Yeah, so you are challenging your days.
So your brain is all the time, pretty much 24/7, overwhelmed. And the brain doesn't know what to do with that information. So he works over time to cope right? So we are tired, we're depressed, we're like, I don't want to do this. So we wanted to sleep all the time. We pretty much wanted to quit. We wanted to give up. And I understand,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I see.
Yeah.
What your friends and your family think about it? They can cope with this and help you, or
Honestly, they don't understand, you know, because it's very hard to explain a invisible disease.
okay, I see.
People, they can have empathy for something they can't see
Or feel.
or feel.
Yeah.
You know, for example, I had cancer in the past. I'm a survivor. Yeah, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a psychoanalyst,
Breast cancer?
thyroid cancer.
thyroid,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm a survivor. And so if I go there and I say, okay, I have a cancer, yeah, and people knows, people just know
Yeah.
what cancer can do to you. It's just like, oh, they have so much empathy and they feel sorry for you. What can I do? Because, you know, they can see, they know.
Because more people
Yeah, they have to do chemotherapy and your hair is going to fall. So they can see, they can pretty much touch it, right? But this invisible illness, we don't get a lot of empathy, especially VSS. Why? It's very hard to explain. People don't understand. So I can sit here and talk all day about my symptoms. And of course, if you go on YouTube today, you can find a lot of videos showing how our world is different than yours. Né? And they, so you can have like a base, you know,
the
how it
values,
is.
everything is different.
Yeah, but you know, they just look and they say that this just doesn't make sense. So we don't have support and we don't have empathy. So we are alone on this. You know, that's why we get a lot of support from other people that actually have the same disease.
And the associations?
The association, they do a great job getting people together, you know, on groups, chats, people supporting each other. It's beautiful.
What about Portugal, where you are living now?
Well, Portugal, I haven't met anybody that have what I have. I talked to some doctors here. They never heard about it, pretty much. I know in Brazil that we have some doctors that they know about this.
And Brazil is bigger.
Yeah,
it's normal,
exactly. In United States, of course, you know, people are getting to know more and more. But here, no, there's no way. People have no idea what this is.
What are you thinking about in opening some different ways to spread the message, or, for example, workshops about the disease?
Yes, my hope is to do some workshops, you know, that I can just do some, like, tell people what I have, what it is. People can be more aware, you know, that we are here, we exist, you know, we have this is very real and we need support.
Of course.
And also to help the patients that have that, because they don't understand that, okay, there's no cure, but there's help, you know. And I can help, and a lot of people that do therapy can help them too to cope with this. You know, I have 3 patients now that with VSS and
online.
Online.
Yes.
I do therapy online, and I was able to help them a great deal. And I'm very happy with that, you know. And I do therapy, and we do different kinds of therapy. Literally just like working how to cope with anxiety, breakdowns, and, you know, with the nervous system. And it is beautiful when people like look and it's just like, oh, wow.
Can you do the diagnosis?
The diagnosis needs to be through actually a medical doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But general practice? Or?
Yeah, usually a neurologist.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about this with children?
Yes. Yes, children, they have as well.
Is there any research about it so far?
Not that I know
Not
of.
yet.
No, not yet. You know, we don't know much about it. You know, why it happens, you know, why children they have as well, you know. it's just like, it's a puzzle to us. It is a big puzzle to us.
I see.
That's the truth.
What have you found helps you cope or adapt on challenging your days?
Literally, understand. One thing that I tell my my patients, that when I start doing therapy with them, they are a little shocked the way I do therapy, but it works.
Yeah.
Once you understand that, I tell them, you don't have VSS, you are VSS. Why this? Because it's not like cancer. It's not something that you know is there and that you can do a surgery, you can take out.
You prove by analysis or...
Right. You can remove it. Is there with you 24/7. It's part of you. So one thing they need to understand, they need to embrace it. They need to accept. So there's no cure, but you can have a relief. Okay, by accepting, by understand that it's part of you. It's just like our arm.
Yeah.
You can cut. It's there. It's going to be there until there's a cure. Always going to be there. So accept, process, and understand that you have to deal with for the rest of your life.
Yeah. If you accept, you can get better.
You can get better.
Yeah.
And that's the point. You don't have this. You're this. Doesn't define you as a person, but helps you to move on with your life.
Yeah. You aren't a worse person because of it.
Exactly. It's just like autism, you know. I have 2 kids with autism, you know. They don't have autism. They're all autism. It's part of them. They were born this way, and they are beautiful. You know, they're so smart. They're here to change the world. And then who says that I don't have this because, you know, I have a call to change the world as well. So embrace it with grace and understand that, you know, you might have a call. You're here to be different. You're here to survive. You're here to help others as well.
Yeah, because this syndrome is rare, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And maybe around you, you can find more people that need your help as a therapist. Even here in Portugal, in the Algarve.
I know. That's my hope. That's my hope. I believe I have been working with people since the age 14. Right? I think that God called me to do this, right? I work in orphanage, in hospice, nursing homes with homeless, in houses for addictions. And I have been doing this forever. And then, you know, I was taught, you know, when I became a chef long time ago, and then I work as a chef for quite a while.
In New York City?
Yes, basically. But God was just there, just like, it's not it. It's not it, you know.
Your call is different.
Yeah, I made you to work with people, and you know, and sometimes we go through hard times, just like I did. I went through cancer and abuse, and you know, and rape, and then now I have VSS, and then you know what? In all these, you know, it hurt, but it made me. And now here,
and stronger, make
yes,
stronger.
You know, and they made me, and then I have this connection now. If I didn't have VS, I couldn't have saved that patient. You know, my first patient had VS. He was about to end his life, and he was like, okay, and he found me. He bought a robe, right? And then he was on the internet, and he found me. He's like, okay, I'm going to give this lady a try. Okay, and he's happy now. So I know that God has a calling for me. If I needed to live through VS to help other people, so be it.
We are here for it.
Yeah, I am.
If you could leave our listeners with one message, a piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't give up. You know, if I was able to make it through it, you can do it to it. You know, with a VS, I was able to go through psychoanalysis school. I was able to overcome my fear, my anxiety to drive, to travel.
You stopped driving for 5 years?
5 years. 5 years. I didn't travel.
Too long.
I went through a lot, and I overcome. The VS is still here. Is still part of my life. I'm seeing right now as I talk to you.
Yeah.
But you know what? I learned how to overcome.
Yeah.
I calm down my nervous system, and I learned to just embrace, accept embrace and work through it. You know, therapy is going to help you a lot, but just don't quit. You know, because I know there's more life to live. Just, you know, embrace, accept, and move on.
That's right. I'm really overwhelmed with the message, Paula's message now about visual snow syndrome. And I know it's a beginning.
It is. It's just the beginning. I know there's more to come. And I hope that through this message, you know, I can help more people. And I know this is gonna work. Just I know there's a plan. You know, the universe, God, whatever you want to call. You know, there's always a plan.
And where the listeners, people who are watching us, can be in touch with you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Clinic Evolve. You know, and Facebook, Clinic Evolve.
Okay.
YouTube, I still have to work on that.
yeah. Which name on YouTube?
No, YouTube, Clinic Evolve as well.
The same, okay.
The same, yeah.
Okay. And thanks for coming once more. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure all mine.
Our psychoanalyst, Paula Hechinger. And she's here to help you as well with the syndrome or another spectrum. Or
yes, I work with all people with like a bipolar disorder, borderline. I work with autism. I specialize in autism as well. Narcissism, depression, anxiety, you name it. I'm here to help you. You know, I'm just here. This is what I do. I love what I do, and I have a lot of connections with my patients because, you know, most of the time when I'm working with a patient that suffers, you know, anxiety, depression, because vision snow syndrome gives you a lot of depression, makes you very depressed. So I went through all this. So when you have a connection, a special connection with your patient, you're able to help more that patient, right? Because they know that you understand because you went through that, right? And so the way they think, it's just like, oh, I know that you know how I feel. Because you felt that pain before, right? And then right there, you know, the therapy goes wonderfully. And I know that I can do a good job if they allow me to, of course.
Of course they will. Thank you very much and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.